everyone. How you guys doing good too? You doing good too? I'm doing good too. So welcome back on my video session today. Just after this. Okay, here we go. Welcome back. Today's video session is on Casio game watches. Good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Good. So welcome back on my video session again. In today's video session, I'm going to be talking about the Casio game watches. These watches were absolutely amazing technology that was brought back quite a few time ago. Even today's date, these watches are pretty amazing. I mean, if we look at the people who are into gaming, these watches are really good for people like that. Really. Because especially if you're into all these games consoles and PCs and you're wearing one of these gaming watches, it's a gaming experience, isn't it? At the same time. And I feel that it's a very interesting thing to have one of them gadgets on your wrist called the Casio game watches. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be showing show you some photos and give you info what these watches were all about. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about photos, features, and all that kind of stuff in these watches and the games in there. Yeah, so it's photo, feature, game. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. These are really, really interesting watches the way I see them anyway. So they're pretty good there. Okay. First of all, I will show you some photos. Now, I don't know much what's on this one. This game was called Football. That's the name. Football. Yeah. Now I'll show you this one. Okay. It's literally called Football. Take a look at that. Now, if you look clearly at this Casio game watch, a game called Football in this. You know what? This game is really good. Yeah? I mean, it's one of the best football games I have ever seen. I mean, it had one of the most amazing graphics, sound, and every time you played this game, it was running at a high performance. And there was no struggle in these Casio game watches. They were really good at this kind of stuff. And they performed really, really well. Okay? So I'm going to explain everything as we go along the. So this is a game called Football. So this is one of the images on this game watch. Another one is on a different Game watch. Each game watch had one game included, okay? So if you wanted another game, then you have to buy another watch, you see. It was like that, okay? This one's called Super Wind Surfing. That's what the game's called in this. So I'll quickly show you each one on these one as well. Take a look at that. Okay. So this is that one. Okay. I'll quickly go over these images. Okay. So this is Super Wind Surfing. Again, similar. They all used similar kind of designs, okay? We're going to talk about that. Don't worry. Another image here. Very nice images, indeed. So you want to know what was all this about? You get these kind of boxes. Like usually Casio does these boxes for wristwatches. Okay. They're called similar, don't they? Why we don't know them same. This is the folding here. Nice folded up the straps. Can you see that? The straps gone up. That image as well. Now look here clearly. I don't know if you can see that. You know all of these watches, like Casio game watches, they were all made in Japan. Okay? It was a Japanese technology. Okay, take a look at that one as well. Oh, like similar kind of models, aren't they? This one can be a bit different. Side view. These are what this game is really good as well. Super windsurfing. Some of the games I didn't like, but football and super windsurfing are really good games. They're very, very good. They're very entertaining games. Look at that. You're racing away. These are like a racing game, yeah? You have to keep on going. You gotta make sure you don't hit into these. These are the surfers, yeah? You have to keep on racing, racing. It's really, really good game to play. This one is. Okay? So that's that, yeah? I'm gonna go back to this football again. Right. So we're gonna go into this information a bit more now, yeah? Okay. So Casio game watches. On this one, it says GS12. It means it's the 12th watch in the series and it's the 12th game. Alright? This is a very, very good game, yeah? So it's a very, very entertaining game at all costs. Okay? Now, these Casio game watches, yeah? You know, every one of them, yeah, had the same design. Can you see this design? It was the same in every single these watches they produced. Same design, size, features were just the same. Okay, majority will be just the same. Remember that? Same design, same size, same features. All of these things will be all the same in these Casio game watches. Okay, so this is important. Okay, how these watches were made. All right. Now the difference with these watches were it was the color. It was the color top to bottom. Now this, like now this one's blue, yeah? This can change into another color in another watch. It depends what game you choose. Okay? That will change from here. Obviously, as I said, top. This part on the top. And down here can be a different color as well. Okay? And the front buttons, which are these ones. This button and this button can be will be a different color as well in the game you choose. All right? It will be like that. So these are the minor differences from top to bottom and the front buttons for gameplay. The front of the game, as you can see, where it says football here. There's got football here as well. It's good. They always make this icon there. And here they have these buttons at the front. These will be in different colors. So this is the difference you will see in these watches. Now some of these models, yeah, is something to do with time, yeah? At time. Okay? Yeah. Now, as you can see, this picture right in front of you, what this one is showing you, right, is something about this time thing in this, yeah? Here at the top, it's the game, and then at the bottom, it's the time. Yeah? This is in widescreen, isn't it? And there'll be some other models which will be different to this, yeah? Okay. The game, it will be a line here, yeah, a line here. The game will be on the left here. So it's really small. The left here will be the game, and the right will be all the time and seconds here on the right hand side. Okay, that will be portrait mode, obviously. Another one will be let me think now, yeah, properly. Yeah. The time will be at the top. Yeah. And the game will be at the bottom. Yeah. You get it? So the time, well, obviously the time's going to be just about here. And the rest of the screen is filled with the game. There's one like that. I really prefer this one, really. Because it's always been like that, hasn't it? Like having the game at the top and then having the time at the bottom. It's just one of the best settings, really, isn't it? It should be like that because it's much comfortable for playing the game at the top and looking at the time at the bottom, isn't it? And it's like widescreen. This is the best you can get from a watch, really. So there's that part to it as well. Okay. Now, before we go into more further, just after this. Go! Where? Come on. Okay. All right. Okay. The next information. Now, on each of these watches, yeah, there are two buttons at the front, yeah. One's on the left, one's on the right, yeah. It depends on the games you buy, yeah. Sometimes what will happen? There'll be a button on the left here, and there'll be a button on the right here, and there'll be another button here which will say fire. Obviously, that's like the action shooter games, so that's going to be completely different to this, I would say. Okay, so this is very important. So these buttons here at the front, when they put on the front, are made for the gameplay. Okay, for your game. So this is very, very interesting. Yeah. So these buttons always at the front are going to be for your gameplay. It's the best way to have for your controls, isn't it? Really. So yeah, especially this game is really, really good. This is one of the best football game of any watch. You know, the one thing I don't know if you know about this, the Casio game watches had the best graphics, sound effects, high performance. What do I mean by high performance? Now, with high performance, a lot of the games, when they go fast, they tend to slow down. But with Casio game watches, that didn't happen. The gameplay always remained at the right speed and they remained fast. Okay, this was a very big bonus in these Casio game watches. Yeah, very, very good indeed. Now the time features. Yeah. Okay. Each watch you'll have this time here. Yeah. Obviously, I can't show you anything here. Yeah. You have a time and you have seconds on there. Well, every watch is like that. Look here. It says P. That must be PM, yeah? And this is the time. And some watches will have seconds. Okay? On them. Here, as you can see, it says adjust and mode. Now the adjust, if you keep on pressing, yeah, you can see the buttons, can you see it? Right at the corner, the side. If you keep on pressing this button, it will keep on taking you to the modes. It says mode then, doesn't it? That's to just adjust. Yeah? No, probably go back to 0 and all that. That's what that button's going to be doing. This button's going to be going to different modes. So each time you press it, you're going to keep on going to modes. Now right now, it's into time. If you press it again, it will go into alarm. Yeah, it will go into alarm. When you go on to your alarm, yeah, you got a feature to have your alarm on and off. This button here on the left hand side, I think in this watch, I think it does that. When you press it, it does on and off. It will tell you here. When you press it, it will tell you either it's on. If you press it again, it will go off. But here, yeah. So that's what this blue button on the left will do here for your alarm. Really, really good. Now, you know, in the front, these gameplay buttons, left and right buttons, because when you're going to press it again, it's going to go to stopwatch. Yeah. Now you'll be using these two buttons. Yeah. You'll be using these two buttons for your stopwatch. Now, when you're going to press the button to your right, the stopwatch will start the time. You know that the fast numbers starts going fast and fast. Yeah, you'll be pressing this button. Yeah, usually these are the side buttons and the other digital watches that Casio make. No, and this one is not. You'll be pressing this button to start the time. Yeah, for your stopwatch. And then this left button will reset that time for your stopwatch. That's what it will do. So each of these features are all in these game watches. So it's really, really good. So you got all the casual things that you have in your Casio digital watches are included in these game watches. Now, above all about these game watches, what I like about them, when we normally have Casio digital watches, we only got the time. What do we see in the Casio digital watches? We will see the seconds going 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what we'll be seeing on the screen happening, isn't it? Constantly, obviously. Now, in these game watches, these Casio game watches, yeah, you will see now, obviously, on the screen, it's a game, what's called football. If you keep on watching this screen, yeah, this football game will be keep on playing automatically. Yeah, it does that. It's really good. It's really exciting, I think this. I really like that. The game will keep on running on this watch. Yeah, it will keep on running on this watch. That's what it's going to keep on doing. Obviously, I didn't mention one thing. Obviously, with the mode button, you keep on pressing, you know, then you get into the screen where there's nothing happening, then you can start the game, yeah. Once even you press the mode button, when you get into the game, you press these buttons, yeah. I think you press the right button to start the game. And it will just start your game, and you can start playing this football game on there, which is really cool. Yeah, as I was mentioning, when you're going to just leave it on time, and when you're not going to touch it and it's on your wrist, this game is going to keep on running automatically. Yeah, you could set the alarm as well every hourly on this watch. Every hour, I think it makes alarm sound, yeah. And then you can set an alarm on there, whatever alarm you're going to set on there. It's going to keep on. I think usually they go for 19 seconds. I'm sure it must be the same on this watch as well. Yeah, so it does. It will be doing. It will be doing things like that. So this is quite interesting thing what these watches are doing. So when you're playing these games on there, it makes this sound goes tick 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 as the players are moving. And when you score, it goes do 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 do. So it will do all these kind of sound effects when you're playing this game. You'll know when you're playing the game because when you're going to be pressing into a mode, everything will be stopped. And when you press the right button at the front, that game will start. And you can hear all these sound effects, and you know you're into the game. So then you're really into the game. But I do warn you, I wouldn't play too much on these watches because a lot of people haven't been mentioning this on YouTube. Because when you're going to be playing on these watches too much, these batteries will go out quick. Yeah, the batteries will go out quick. And then what's a watch without a battery when there's no energy in a battery? The watch ain't gonna work anymore. Obviously, if you got a bit of experience, you can open the watch from the back and you just replace this battery. Yeah, it's one of them round batteries, yeah, that Casio always uses in its digital watches. It's the same battery in this watch as well. Yeah, they're not very difficult to put batteries in these watches, especially in these game watches. You just open the back panel with a tiny screwdriver, and once you take that off, it's got like 4 screws. Yeah, left, right, yeah, and that's it. There's 4 screws. You take them off, take the panel off, and you just replace the battery. That's all you do. Take the old battery out, put the new one in. That's it. You'll see the screen back in action, and then you can just put the back panel and put all the 4 screws back on. That's how you do it. It's not that hard. I mean, usually people can have your watches on your wrist. You're not going to keep on taking off this watch. I mean, when you're I would only use this watch when you're traveling. Yeah, then you could take it off from your wrist and then you can play this football game. Yeah, you should only play it at that time. You don't want to keep on playing like in your home and just keep on taking it off and keep on playing on it. Otherwise, the battery's gonna just go out really quickly if you did that. So it's best to just leave your watch on your wrist. Yeah. When you're really bored, then take off this watch and then play the game. Then that's what this watch is all about, really. When you're bored, when you're traveling, then you can play on these watches. It's really, really a good experience. I mean, at the same time, because there's a lot of watches just come time don't do anything else. These watches are specifically made for playing your games. And they're very, very entertaining game watches. What I like about these watches, it's got all the timepiece that a normal digital watch will have. Then, above all, it has a game running on the screen, which makes it more exciting. And then, to make it even more exciting, you can take it off your wrist when you're bored, on your travels, and you can play the game on it. They're really, really amazing watches, man. I would still say they're really worth buying. I mean, if you're that kind of guy who wants to see some game running on your wrist, even when you're not playing, you get that out of it. When you're bored, when you're traveling, you can take it off and play a game. So there you go. These are really, really two big bonuses from these watches. Yeah. I mean, Casio has done a good job. These watches are made in Japan, and they're very, very. They're one of my favorite game watches from Casio. They're one of the best. They performed the graphics, sound effects, and the high performance. They performed really, really well. These watches did. They were well made, man. They were well made. Because Casio is famous for watches, isn't it? And they know how to deal with that kind of technology. And that's why Casio game watches are one of the most amazing game watches you'll ever buy. So yeah, still consider buying one of them again. I mean, I'm going to be buying one of these watches. I mean, I think the first watch, I'll probably be buying this Casio game watch, a game called Football. I'll be buying one of these, and I'll be showing you this watch in action, yeah? And I'm going to be showing you all the box, what you get with it, and everything. And I'm going to show you some gameplay on it, everything on it. So I'm going to be showing you all of that. These watches are one of the best, trust me. So yeah, I hope you guys learned quite a lot. It's giving you depth knowledge on these watches, and it's giving you good information what these watches can really be like. Give me likes, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.